Second group, please, on the stage.
Can you see?
Yeah, we can.
Well, okay, our topic is adjectives and the ways of modifying it. Is it next? So adjective modifiers, also called intensifiers, are words which are placed before adjectives to give them like more details or emphasize them. They are mostly used in speaking to make it more vivid and like emotional speech.
Mm-hmm.
Well-known modifiers is very, really, absolutely, totally, etc.
Mm-hmm.
And also we can use like modifiers in comparison, like here you can see the example. For example, giraffe 1 is a bit or a little taller than giraffe 2. So
Mm-hmm.
that's it. Next. And here you can see the like your picture, and if someone didn't understand my uh, like slide, they can see look at this and understand it more better maybe. So yeah, next is big dot.
I have a question. Why we do need to intensify the adjectives, especially I'm talking about negative adjectives.
We needed to like emphasize our speech to give more emotions because we use it especially in speaking.
What is wrong if I say she can be impatient sometimes, for example, instead of saying she can be a bit impatient?
Because it gives us more details. Mm.
You
Another
can
term.
describe it better and do it more understandable.
What about the word soften negative comments? Why we need to soften negative comments? What is the reason of softening?
We don't know.
Actually, it is written on third rule. If you say, for example, she can be impatient or she is impatient, it means you sound rude or maybe too direct. So in order not to sound and to sound more neutral, if you remember for writing task, we need to keep the neutrality. It's better to use the softening like a bit. Or you can use the negative form not very and plus positive adjective. Instead of saying he is unreliable, we can say he is not very reliable. Does it make sense, 11th grade students?
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Group number 3, please. Welcome. You can share the screen.
Okay, give me minutes.
Do you have tech issues, Sophia?
Do you
Oh,
see?
okay, yep. We see.
Present simple. Okay, present simple. So the rule, we use personal pronouns like I, you, we, they plus verb. For example, you eat, and he, she, it plus verb plus endings s or es. For example, she dance. Also, we can use other nouns like bird, car, and for example, a bird flies. So then the question form is formed by auxiliary verbs do, does plus verb. For example, do you usually get up at 7 a.m.? And the negative form is formed by adding to auxiliary verbs do, does, negative participle not, and plus verb. For example, he doesn't sing. Also, in present simple, we can use special words which identify that these actions are being done at regular way. For example, usually, often, and etc. The usage of present simple. We use it to talk about facts. The sun is a star. To talk about schedule or regular action. She has breakfast at 9 a.m. To give instructions. For example, you need to turn on your camera and then turn on a microphone. And the last, but not the least, to tell stories. For example, in the book, the main character finds treasures. Then, usage in speaking.
Okay.
So, we can use in that way. For example, I have a friend and her name is, then she is calm and sensible, so we never argue and very sympathetic, what I do appreciate in her. Then we both like reading horror stories and tell them to each other. And I do believe that we have a lot in common, especially that we don't like tea and like coffee. And ideas to impress, we can use do does before the main verb. For example, I do believe or I do agree. And I think that we shouldn't use a lot present simple because it's pretty simple tense.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, I have a question to the whole class. Do you agree with Sophia's opinion that we don't have to use present simple as it sounds simple, too simple to be used in
No,
IELTS?
we can use, but not a lot. We should add other tenses.
Do you mean complex sentences with different
Yes,
tenses?
perfect tenses.
Mm-hmm. Can you please move to the second slide, your example? Yep, thank you. For example, I have a friend, her name is Sophia. We have known each other since we went to the school. Yeah? So
Yes.
one sentence has both present simple and present perfect, which makes your sentence complex rather than simple sentence. I think that you mean this one. And for example, if you want to emphasize, you can use, as it was mentioned by Sophia, do does. When you can use does when you are talking about third person. For example, we do have a lot in common. She does like the same type of music that I do, for example. She does like. Okay, thank you. Next group, please.
Can you see the presentation?
Yep, we do.
Our theme is gerund after certain verbs. Gerund is used as an object after certain verbs. Gerund is verb plus ing. There are several verbs that should be followed by gerund. They are avoid, celebrate, consider, contemplate, dislike, dread, enjoy, entail, forgive, imagine, involve, keep, close, postpone, prefer, prevent, regret, resent, resist. And there are other words, but we don't have enough space to show all of them.
Can you move to the second slide, third slide, because we can see only the first slide.
Can you see it now?
Nope.
And now?
Yep, now it is visible.
And several examples: I admitted taking drugs, I adore traveling, they may even risk losing their homes. And next slide. She likes playing volleyball. She dislikes being the center of attention, and she suggested going and last part, how to impress the IELTS examiner.
Can you please go
more
to the
about the no, it's more about the last third part of speaking. Know that you need to give extended answers. Don't try to rush to the end. If you give short answers, the examiner will just keep asking you more questions. It's far better to answer each one properly and not have to answer so many of them.
So I have a quick question to this group. Thanks for the presentation in a more classical style. I'm asking how to impress the IELTS examiner in terms of using gerund. Any ideas?
In terms of using gerund, it helps to show your wide range of grammar, that you know gerund, and it like more specific details of action or situation by giving two verbs.
And one last question comes to my mind. What is the best way to learn all the verbs which needs to be followed by gerund? To learn them by heart. How we can memorize them? Because it's a long list.
Usually, verbs followed by gerunds are about feelings, like hate, prefer, and so on. Or you can just learn all of them.
So my suggestion would be try to make a story, one story using the verbs in gerund, or you can make a table and write down your personal experience or association, or maybe some drawing which is related to the certain type of verbs which needs to be in gerund. Thank you. And next 2 minutes left, please, to the first group. Going into examples and how to impress.
Can you see the presentation? Okay, we're presenting present perfect. Present perfect is a tense that expresses certain actions that have done just a few moments ago, and it has structure of subject plus have has verb in short form and plus object, and we add not in negative form, and have has subject verb in short form and object in question form. As examples, please, Diar.
Positive, I have known my friend for a very long time. Negative, my friend hasn't seen such a movie yet. And question, have you ever met your friend accidentally at the shopping center?
Yes.
So here are some ideas to impress IELTS examiner. First of all, it's important to use a range of grammatical structures. So in this case, in order to achieve these criteria, we can mix different tenses, for example, past simple and present perfect. So it will help us to create a dynamic and impressive speech. For instance, in speaking part 2, when a story is introduced, at the beginning, we might use present perfect in order to introduce the overall experience, and then when more specific details are described, past simple might be used. So also I should mention the difference between past simple and present perfect. We use present perfect, as it was mentioned, in cases when, first of all, something happened not a while ago, and past simple, of course, it is about the past, and with the present perfect, it doesn't matter when the action happened. While with the simple past simple, the time that the event happened is important, and the specific details are given. For instance, I met him 5 years ago. It is a past simple, and I've known him for a long time.